Third axis. There are a lot of videos that tell you how to set your third axis, but what happens when you get out in the field and you're suspicious that there's something going on with it? It's important to get it set and to go test it. And Kenneth's going to give us a good explanation and kind of a background of why we wanted to go ahead and put this video together for you. And hopefully it's useful for you. Enjoy. All right. Drive some bows. All of them. All right, YouTube. Bros before bows. I'm kind of working on something. Was going to work on something anyway, and decided to maybe film a little bit of it. Josh and I, we shot Mountain Archery Fest kind of in preparation to shoot tack, which is kind of in preparation to our elk hunting season this year. And we saw a couple different things that actually made us work on our gear a little bit more. And one of the main things was third axis. We shot a lot of side hills, shot a lot of steep inclines and declines, and even with all of our preparation before that. And third axis is something that we've checked before in our shops and things like that, but shooting it in real life kind of flushed out a couple of things that maybe we need to do a little bit different other than so there's a couple of products out on the market. One is called Sight Bright, where you bolt your sight to a leveled machine and you do third axis that way, and it gets you pretty close, don't get me wrong, but there's a little bit of a flaw in that theory, and that's that nothing changes on your bow at full draw. Now you can take that a step further and put your bow in a Hooters shooter, draw it back to full draw, and make sure that your riser is parallel, and then adjust your third axis that way. My point to that is that I've done that at home, but that doesn't replicate your grip and the things that you do out in the field. And the only way that you can see that is actually shooting it. Get out, shoot, and shoot different angles. So what I've got right here is I'm on an incline of about, I want to say it's about 45 degrees now, 45 yards away as far as the angle compensation. And what that means is I'm probably shooting line of sight farther than 45 yards on this about 40-degree incline. But I'm gonna take a few shots and see. Now, before I shot, like I said this morning, I got out and did some cold shots at 100 yards and did a couple groups just to make sure that I wasn't hitting right or left to begin with. And maybe I'll put a screenshot of one of those groups, maybe one of the better groups that I shot this morning. And I'm not trying to boast about shooting at 100 yards. I'm not trying to say that that's how you should shoot. Other points of reference on my sight were adequate. So we'll take some shots and see what they look like up there on that target. So 43 yards is what it's telling me, and that's the angle compensation. Let's see how well we can do. I'm gonna dial that to right to 43. And that's one thing about shooting in preparation, like shooting these events like tack and Mountain Archery Fest. They will help flush out issues in your form and your gear. I chose to shoot uphill because those were the hardest shots for me at Mountain Archery Fest. We're going to be shooting tack here and end of this month, so we'll see. Paying really close attention to my bubble. I guess I should be doing it the right way as far as drawing level first. And 43 yards, that's probably a moderate distance. If I want, I might actually go down a little bit farther down the hill and see if I can't get a little bit farther out. We'll see. Look like they're coming in actually pretty good. Maybe just a little bit to the right. Oh, a little bit to the left. I take it back. My other right. Okay. So let's go take a look at those. Now, like I said, we're at it was at 43 yards, and if you take that into account, you double the yardage around 90 or 100 yards, let's say. Not that you're taking a shot at an animal at that distance, like I said, and that's just magnified the farther back that you go. So what I'm going to try and do is get point of aim pretty decent here, then I'll back up and see if that keeps running true all the way through. So let's talk about what adjustments would I make to my third axis to make that come into line. So when you raise your bow and you get your bubble into the center and you're hitting off to the left, what that means is, so your arrow follows the bubble. So what I'm doing is I'm canting my bow to the left, which means my bubble would be out to the right. So what I've got to do is open up that third axis a little bit. Move that third axis away from the riser. Now I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's what I've got to do, but I'll go down and make an adjustment, and we'll shoot it again and see how it turns out. Okay. All right, so I've made some adjustments. Like I said, as far as I've moved the third axis to where the housing is away from the riser just a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit, and we'll see what that does for my point of impact as far as my in relation to my point of aim. Gonna double check the yardage, make sure I got in the same spot, maybe didn't move the target at all. Let's see. All right, it's pretty much the same. It's coming back as 44 this time, so I might, I don't know, buzz that down just a touch. Will that make a difference? I don't know. All right, I hope this information is helpful to you. Like I said, there's ways to get it close, and really that's all it is a starting point. Like I said, the hooter shooter doesn't hold the bow exactly like you do. So if you're inducing any type of torque to the bow at full draw, that's going to be magnified as you go on angles. And so shooting it in, I think both Josh and I, when we talked about it, maybe you'll see footage of that when we filmed a few of our shots and stuff, so maybe you'll see footage of us talking about the things that we learned about our setups and third axis. So let's see how these, if I've moved my housing the correct way. Let's see. Ooh, that looked pretty good. trying to make really good shots here. Ooh, that looked really good. And I'm not the best at executing a perfect shot. I'm working on it. Trying to keep back tension, activate my release with back tension, surprise releases. I'm working on all those things. Ooh, that looked really good. I think I have found something. Hopefully, when we shoot tack, I'm a little bit, so I was missing off to the left, off to the left, shooting uphill, and when I shot downhill, I was shooting off to the right, down the hill. So I skipped showing you my shots on that last one. They were pretty much point of aim, so center of the target. So what I did is I moved down the hill. I'm going to take a few shots from here. Like I said before, man, this would have been a whole lot easier to just do instead of film. Still pretty much the same angle. Let's see what kind of distance we're at now, okay? So 69 or 70 yards. That's my distance. But it's probably a lot farther than that the arrow has to travel as far as line of sight. So we'll see if I'm still on at this distance. Now, if I'm still on at this distance, I mean, 70 yards, that's pretty decent on a pretty steep uphill. I think I should be good for tack. We'll see. All right. Well, it's on the target. It looks to be just a touch to the left still. So I might have to make a little bit more adjustment. That was a tough shot though. That one looks really good. Would have been a lot easier to just shoot. Ooh, that looks really good. So I might have just had one break just a touch to the left, that first shot. That one broke high. All right, see if I can put a couple of them right where I want to. And then we'll go take a look. That one looked pretty good. Maybe a touch low. All right, let's go take a look. All right, so just walking up on this group. Like I said before, man, I got 3 of them, 70 yards, like dead center. I knew this one right here. I knew this one broke a little bit left from the beginning, and this was one of the later ones too. But man, I know that's not the best 70-yard group that you ever seen on YouTube or whatever, but I'm shooting severe uphill, and I'm working on getting that third axis in. And with those 3 arrows in the center that I know that were decent breaks, I'll take it. All right, back in the shop. So maybe just a little bit of a wrap up, and maybe I'll throw it over to Josh to see if he's got something else to add or if he's got some other ideas. But as you can see, I'm still probably pretty sweaty from hiking up and down that grade. I shot probably about 3 or 4 more times and got similar results. Was super happy with the point of impact. As long as my shots were breaking good, they were hitting right where I was aiming. So, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informational for you. I hope it helped you or helped motivate you get out and do some things with your equipment, to try different things and see how it reacts, see how how it shoots. Like I was saying before, it gives me confidence to know that now that I take that rig out to tack, or I take that rig out to the woods, I have confidence in how it's going to perform. When I enter that shot process, I'm not wondering, where is this arrow gonna end up? I know because I've seen it. I put the work in to make it do what I need it to do. And it's not always that easy. Sometimes it takes a lot of trial and error, but trust me, it's worth it. All right. If you like this video, hit subscribe, hit the like button, and comment about the things that you don't like, or comment about the things you do like. Like I said, Josh and I, we take a lot of time reading the comments, and I think as long as it's a legitimate comment, we answer it. All right, till the next time.